This is the first movie I have ever seen that begins with a trigger warning in a theater. That being said, I probably should start by saying we're going to be talking, to talk about this movie in any detail, we're going to be talking about some very sensitive subject matter that might be triggering for some viewers, involving depression, particularly postpartum depression, and suicidal ideation. If your loved one is struggling, know you are not alone. There are resources to help. In the description, I will be putting the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline in the description for this video below. That being said, hi everyone, and happy Halloween, everyone. This is a very, very different kind of choice to review on Halloween, but why not? I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. Movies and TV is what we do here, and the movie we're going to talk about, because we're going to talk about a movie, is a film that's been under a lot of radars, and I don't think it should be. That film is called A Mouthful of Air. A Mouthful of Air is written and directed by, in her feature directorial and screenwriting debut, by Amy Koppelman, and is based on her novel of the same name, and it is very loosely inspired by her own real-life story. So, what's the film about? Well, the film stars the terrific Amanda Seyfried, fresh off her Oscar-nominated role, and deservedly so, in Mank. She plays Julie. She is a children's book writer, mostly known for her popular children's book, Pinky Pinkerton, who is a little girl with a key for a finger, for a pinky finger. And she's a new mother. She just gave birth to her son, Teddy, her newborn son, Teddy. One day, while sitting him down to watch Sesame Street in a terrifying but very, very heartbreaking juxtaposition, she tries to take her own life. Essentially, she goes and sits in a bathroom. They don't show it, thank God, but she seemingly cuts her vein open and is luckily rushed to the hospital and is okay. And she basically, but in the process, she terrifies her sister-in-law, her husband, because the sister-in-law is bringing over her own daughter as for a play date with the baby boy. She has to face the fact, with the help of her doctor, Paul Giamatti, that she's suffering from postpartum depression. She starts to get on the path of getting better. She then finds herself pregnant again with her daughter. Around the time of her son's first birthday, and she decides not to take her antidepressants, which begins to have a slow but very, very detrimental effect. I'm going to be real with you. I've actually been home a little while since seeing the screening of this movie, because I felt I needed to take a beat before I talked about it. Undeniably, this was a great movie. I thought it was a fantastic movie, and I would recommend it. But, with a very steep reservation, this movie is very realistic. It's not graphic, but it's realistic and raw in what it is like to go through this. And the ending of the movie is dark and doesn't really pull any punches. It's not a feel-good escapist movie. It's a very, very sad film, but it is an extremely well-acted film. Amanda Seyfried is in it. Her husband in the film is also played, and I think is going to be kind of overlooked, which he shouldn't be because he's also quite strong, played by Finn Wittrock, who is also in one of my favorite films of the year so far, and which was also released by the studio Stage 6, which was Long Weekend, which people know I loved. He's the husband here. We also have some nice little drop-ins from famous character actors like Jennifer Carpenter as the sister-in-law, of course, the sister from Dexter. Michael Gaston from Strange Angel, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as her father, Amy Irvine as her mother. Britt Robertson shows up for a small part later on. But this is a very dark film, and what I just think really works about it, it's not going to be for everyone, But one of the things I really admire about A Mouthful of Air is the fact that it is a studio movie. It's a Stage 6 film, which Stage 6 is Sony Pictures. Getting, I think, a wide release, at least in close to 1,000 theaters, that doesn't pull punches. There's a scene around the film's midpoint where Julie is sitting in the room where it happened, and she's basically haunted by it, and you see it. It's a very, very moving film. Very subtle film, too. It's not too in your face. But one thing that is less subtle, but I kind of forgave it because it really worked, is using the illustrations from Julie's book series as basically, occasionally we'll cut to interstitials of animations of the books she writes as sort of to paint a picture of her mental state that were very, very well done. I thought this film was great. Now, again, there was a woman sitting in front of me that very clearly probably, I don't want to diagnose another person that I don't even know, but clearly seemed to have gone at least through something similar to this character. And she was there with her daughter and husband. They sat in front of me. And she was sniffling throughout most of the movie, which, not blaming her, I cried a lot too. The daughter seemed, after the movie, to be stunned that it ended the way it did, and it was sat through the credits, and she said, "Let's go." And he says, "It's over." And they didn't... It's the most quiet I've had leaving a movie this year, probably all year. Just no one really made a sound. Everyone kind of... The two other people that were in there kind of sat in the theater and just kind of waited. This is a very dark film, but it's a very powerful film, and it's a film that I really do think people should see. Just know, it might trigger you guys. That I actually am proud of Sony that they put that at the beginning of the film, the trigger warning, because it's really important. That being said, again, with the reservations for certain audiences, you see it, bang, 5 out of 5 stars, the 5-star finger gun. 5 out of 5 stars for A Mouthful of Air. I gotta do it. It's a beautiful, moving, raw, heartbreaking film that I will never forget, and I think more people should talk about. And Amanda Seyfried is phenomenal, as is the rest of the cast. Okay. 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, sorry, I actually got kind of emotional talking about it, because it is an emotional movie. 5 out of 5 stars. Let's close the book on it. But we did see it in a theater. It's only playing in theaters right now. It's not streaming. So let's talk trailer trash. We got some trailer trash. Let's talk about it. One. This phone has been kind of a pain in the tuchus lately. It's doing that thing where it not only drops calls, but the person on the other end sounds like a robot. I don't know. A lot of these you can go through. Ambulance, or as I jokingly like to call it, Amber Lamps. We talked about this in our Dune video. It looks good, but at the same time, it's Michael Bay. I mean, it could go either way, but the premise is interesting. We'll certainly see it. Scream. It's going to be in front of every movie, isn't it? Scream. Yeah, I'm excited. West Side Story, which I can't wait for. Encanto, we've talked about it. King Richard, we talked about it. Looks really good. Both of those look good. This is one of the newest. Come On, Come On. This is the new A24 film, so already, hell yeah. It's also Mike Mills, who did 20th Century Women and Beginners, so that's a phenomenal director. And it's shot in black and white, and it stars Joaquin Phoenix. Again, just shut up and take my money. Looks really, really good. Alright. Julia, we talked about this a few times before. It's a documentary on Julia Child. Looks really good. And then finally, A Journal for Jordan, coming out on Christmas. Denzel Washington directing it. Looks good. It's going to be sad. I know it is, but it looks good. Was there shawarma? Actually, yes. During the credits, about midway through the credits, there is a postscript, sort of like a message from the director about the subject of the movie. Like a postscript about details. The other thing to note is the movie's set in 1995, where postpartum depression was not as widely diagnosed, so there's some info about it, the context of the story. But weirdly enough, they wait a little ways into the credits. They wait right before the scrolling credits. That was surprising. They didn't do it right away. They literally waited a little bit. So technically, I do think it's worth sticking around for the credits just to see that part. But yeah, there's nothing after. Okay, so we'll be back, not tomorrow, because we already talked about Dune, unless I have a new insight. But we're going to talk about... we're going to do SNL probably tonight. I'm going to try to do that tonight. Eternals is Thursday. Hopefully Spencer and Finch. Also, if it does come, it seems like it's slowly but steadily opening. French Dispatch, that's going to be a last-minute probably choice when it does, but we'll definitely be seeing it. And then, I believe, November 9th, we're going to have a slightly earlier review for Clifford the Big Red Dog. And that'll all be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all, I appreciate you all, and I genuinely mean that. I love you all deeply, appreciate you all. I'm a love you all, class dismissed, I love you 3000, be kind to one another. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to give it a subscribe, if you want to give it the bell, I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do. You want to find me also reviews, listen to other fun stuff, including my now complete 31 movies of Halloween. You can check me out on letterboxd.com at Grant the Movie and TV Guy. Some of you already have, but even if you don't do all that stuff, I can't stress this enough. I truly love you all. Take care of yourself. Truly take care of your mental health. If you need help, there are resources available. You're loved. Don't ever, ever, ever give up hope. Always live. Choose life. Okay? And that being said, thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day and have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you real soon. See ya.